Hi, good morning, Anne.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I can see my friend Jan Lensberg online. Good morning, Jan.
Hello, everybody.
So we've got 8 online. We'll start with renaming ourselves, hey? I can see Sally's name. Ore. It's lovely to have the Zonta friends online. And
I can see Megan. Hello, good morning, Megan.
Good morning. We are truly an international organization with so many time zones.
It'd be great to put our countries in.
Oh, okay. All right. Everybody, of course, always wants to know how to grow membership. So today you will find out how.
Ansbury did a great job giving us a little preliminary commentary. And I thank you for renaming yourselves. So this is the WOW Membership Action Strategy for Growth. And your 2022-24 ZI Membership Committee is pleased to present this workshop for you. I feel privileged to work with such an amazing team. We hope that you will make plans to use some of these ideas that are presented today. We want you to know in your heart 3 things. Number 1, taking even a small step can make a big difference. Intentional membership actions can be as natural as breathing. I imagine none of us are thinking consciously of our inhale and exhale at this moment, unless you're maybe meditating. Number 3, anyone can do this and everyone should. The recording of this workshop will be available on demand soon. So welcome again. We are glad you are here. The session will proceed swiftly. So if you have questions, please use the chat. After the session is finished, we are as close as your phone, the Whova app, or the Zonta app. So to get us started, Ans will bring us up to date on some 2nd century membership.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction, Teresa, and welcome to everybody online. We're going to start with 2 short videos. Now, in the first video, I would all of you to use your yes hands when you see your district. And then it goes very fast, so please be attentive. Now, by the way, do you know that if you play a video on YouTube, you can actually slow it down? You can click on the YouTube gear and adjust the playback speed. But for now, sit down, have your hands ready, and we'll get started.
Girl, make your show up and good to you. Time changes things. Girl, you're living proof. Seems like it was only yesterday we were kids. You were the victim of the games and jokes I used to play. Buck teeth, not least, and daddy ways. Girl, you were never battling for days. My you blossomed into a prize-winning flower, and I'm intrigued by your beauty, girl. More with each passing hour, you're a well, babe. Hot stuff. Time changes things. Girl, you're living proof. Seems like it was only yesterday. Kids, you were the victim of the games and jokes I used to play. Buck teeth, not least, and daddy ways. Girl, you were never battling for days. My you blossomed into a prize-winning flower, and I'm intrigued by your beauty, girl. More with each passing hour, you're a well, babe. Hot stuff. Let me tell you, girl.
Wonderful. Here's our second video, Zonta Then and Now. will find this video and many other videos on our membership YouTube channel. And so if you're interested in watching them again, please go to this YouTube channel and you will find all of our videos there. So if you can see here, to get there, to get to the YouTube channel, just put Zonta Membership Wow in the search bar of the YouTube application. Look for the pink circle, subscribe, and you will have access to all of those videos. Now, my suggestion is that you grab your phone now and take a screenshot of this phone, of this slide, so that you know exactly how to navigate to the YouTube channel and see all of our videos that we have there. Slide will take us now here is that this biennium, for the first time, we've had some new terminology. And the new terminology that I actually in particular want to refer to are the chief club creator, district club creators, designated district club creator, and we also have new club chairs, bus drivers. So remember this new terminology that from here on we are going to use. I actually would like to use an analogy that explains this new terminology a little bit better. Imagine that there's a garage that is full of empty buses. And the manager of the garage is what we call the district club creator. And her job is to find people to drive each bus, the bus drivers. So let's say the district club creator wants to start a new club in a city that doesn't have a Zonta club yet. So she finds a person to be the bus driver, and we call them new club chairs. And these new club chairs, these bus drivers, are responsible for driving their bus to the new town where the club is going to be held. And all along the drive, she picks up passengers, members really, along the way. Now, once the bus or the club has 15 members, 15 passengers, ready to officially start operating and be chartered. So in this analogy, the garage represents the district club organization, where the district club creator matches the buses with the drivers to help establish new Zonta clubs in different cities, picking up passengers all along. So remember that. And from now on, we will have in all the districts, we will have a district club creator. Now, another terminology that we also have, and I've lost my slide, but I know that I can speak to this, but it would be lovely to have the slide back, that we have used in addition to the chief club creator, the district club creator, and the new club chairs, is what we call the ladder of success. In this biennium, we have focused a lot on creation of new clubs, and we have found this approach, this methodical approach, very helpful and very successful, not only to grow new clubs, but also to be used in your own club if you want to grow your membership. So this is the ladder of success for club creation. And as you can see, there are 5 different steps and the 5 rungs. Let me just take you through those. The first rung of the ladder is to set up a new club when you create a guest list. Write down as many names as you can and make that list as long as you like, because these people are going to be invited to your announcement event. So once that guest list is established, the next step, so after you've completed number 1, the guest list is as long and as wide as you want, you are going to have an announcement event. And this is where you officially introduce the new club, outline the purpose of the club, outline the goals of the club, and encourage attendees to join. And you repeat this event several times, as it will allow you to gradually build up your membership until you reach the magical number of 15. That's the third step. You really continue to have as many announcement events until you have 15 members who have paid their dues, and you can progress to the next rung, which is the organizing event, where you elect your officers, you form your committees, and you actually get ready to request Zonta International to charter. Now, the last rung of the ladder, of course, is the charter ceremony, which is a formal event that marks the official establishment of the club with the presentation of the charter document. Now, You might say, hang on, why are we talking about new clubs here? I thought this was about growing membership, this workshop. Well, yes, what we have found at the membership committee is that the same principles that grow a new club can also build and strengthen an existing club. So remember those 5 things. Continue to work on strategies in your club to grow and think of the ladder of success. And remember, a healthy club should be thinking about creating a club near them. So don't leave it only to the district club creator to create a new club or to grow Zonta. Growing Zonta is every member's responsibility. At the end, we will give you a link to all the resources that we have developed. So all this information about the ladder, about the announcement event, all those steps you will find. We make them available to you. Now, this is something you probably all know, but it is helpful to really bring it home again, the mission and vision of Zonta. As you know, the mission statement that says what our organization is doing right now. And I trust that all of you know that it is about building a better world for women and girls. The vision is slightly different as it is more aspirational. And that really answers the questions about what does Zonta want to achieve in the future? And again, it is also something that all of you know. Where we want to be is in a world where women's rights are recognized as human rights and every woman is able to achieve her fully potential. I really love Zonta mission and vision. That's why I'm in Zonta, because I believe in Zonta mission and vision. And together they work with a practical focus, the vision, while the vision is inspirational and motivates us all to work towards a better future. The next slide. Now, these are all members. This is all growing, not only the Zonta clubs, but also looking very carefully at whether you're up to date in Zonta with your logo, for example. That's why we put this slide up here. Is your logo signage up to date? Does it properly reflect the mission and the current tagline? Some of you may still have the empowering women through service and advocacy. Please know that you are now in a position to change your logo and have the tagline build a better world for women and girls. Now, if you want to know how to do that, please refer to the Zonta brand guide, find that tagline and attach it to your logo. Okay, that's information that is something that you can do yourself. And this is going to hand over now to Winnie, who is going to talk to you about enlarging the pool of perspectives. Winnie?
Can you hear me? I just unmute
Yes,
myself.
Yeah, thank you, Winnie. You are loud and clear. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anne. As I was saying, I'm from Zonta Club of Kowloon. In fact, I've been in Zonta for 40 years. So Zonta is something very dear to me, and I call my Zonta friends my sisters. So today, my mindset is more of sharing the experience with you, and my mindset is that I can learn from everybody, all the Zontans around the world. So today, the title of this presentation is Enlarge the Pool of Perspective. It's good for new clubs. It's good for clubs that has been established for many years, small clubs, big clubs, and e-clubs as well. The recruitment of quality members is of utmost importance to the continuation of Zonta. Why is enlarging the pool of perspective important? It is because our members join us upon invitation or referral. If we have a large pool of perspective, it enables us to invite relevant individuals with the appropriate professions and with the appropriate qualification. Also, the biennial goals of Zonta change with the times. So quality members can help us to achieve our current goals more effectively. So this is an encompassing slide. It captures the relationship between the biennial goals and membership recruitment. So in this visual, you can see a summary of our proposed goals. Under credible and visible voice, in addition to violence against women, new theme lines have been added: climate justice, women in leadership making, education equality. If we can recruit potential members who are familiar in these topics, it would help your club to organize quality projects. Under club success, visibility and credibility goes hand in hand. If prospective have heard about your club in the media, they are more inclined to join your club. Under leadership and sustainability, please study the following word-for-word quotation from our biennial goals. For recruitment, a greater emphasis will be placed on diversity and building a welcome environment for people from various genders, age groups, and ethnic backgrounds. Under leadership and sustainability, ZI wants to do an analysis of sustainability, environmental, social, and governance issues. Again, there are many new words here, and ESG is a hot topic being included by mega corporations. Under engagement of audiences and airlines, when you collaborate with like-minded organizations, their staff may also be your target too. So each Santa Club must develop a membership plan aligned with the ZI biennial goals at the beginning of the biennium. So an effective approach is the club president can ask all members to recap on the type of perspective that they may encounter and ask them to come up with a few names. It's not a great effort, just a few names. So a special chart has been developed and we can go over it now. Under one, you can see the name of the club. This is in fact a VIP guest list worksheet, but you can personalize it with the name of your club. And then under two, it allows the club to develop a name list. So you can see here different blocks like government officials, education, business owners, and you can fill in the name of the prospective with the personal details like emails and phones included. The Santa Club can assign duties, which function will follow up on which name, and what type of follow-up action has been taken. So this is an effective and systematic approach. So this is the link to the spreadsheet, and you might like to take a photo here. So we will now go through a checklist on where you can find potential members. As you read through the points, please try to write down the name of the prospective member that come into your mind. You can do your follow-up action later. So enlarging the pool of prospectives, club can ask each member to analyze what type of prospective they may meet in the round-the-clock schedule. So you give the checklist to the members and they'll run through it. So through their work in the business dealings amongst the co-workers, former office colleagues, there may be prospectives. Through your leisure activities, when you're golfing, when you're running marathons, doing your hobby, your painting, cooking, flower arrangement class, there may be prospectives. Through your personal contact, through your acquaintances and friends, your former schoolmates, former teachers, former principals, the member of your church or your neighbors. Through your charity work, the NGOs, the special interest organizations, hospitals, heritage and museum organizations. Through members of your family, your husbands, your boyfriends, your siblings, or your children. Through your professional organization, your schools, your universities, doctors, architects, or chamber of commerces. Next. So this is an important slide because it enables you to identify in your community which are the active individuals interested in helping women. So it is through reading media or websites in your city, through reading in the newspaper, looking at televisions, radios, or websites in your city. So you can identify the people in the news, the community leaders and elected officials, individuals who have an interest to help Zonta in our 4 core areas, the speakers, the event organizers, and they are all prospective. So you ask each member to give you a few names. We have small clubs, large clubs, e-clubs, but basically you start with a portfolio of 15 members. If you are successful in recruiting 1 member out of the few suggestions, your membership growth plan would be very successful indeed. So these are my concluding remarks. Diversity and inclusion should be the key to your membership recruitment. There are various perspectives you can look at, different age groups. We have young professionals, or you can look at established professionals in your community. Different genders, men as well as women. And from experience in my club, there are beginning to be more men who are interested in joining Zonta. However, some of these new approaches can be sensitive. So I do suggest that club presidents, you can discuss these new approaches to achieve an understanding and maintain harmony within your club. Also, ZI has been organizing different scholarships and mentoring Golden C and C clubs for many years. So the past awardees or alumni may wish to contribute back to Zonta. So I hope the checklist would be useful for you, and you have already got a few names in your looks. Last, but very important, recruitment is essential, but once prospective becomes sanctions, retaining these members are also important too. For this aspect, organizing and enjoying club life is important. It may include meaningful service and advocacy activities, but it can also include unique fellowship activities and building a good bonding with the new members and their families as well.
Thank you, Winnie. You really got us thinking about people we know. But what do we say to those people after identifying them? Ans, can you tell us, please? This has been a crazy Zoom. I don't hear Ans. Ans, are you there?
Yep, this is about what to say about Zonta. I don't know about you, but many of us have been asked by a friend to join Zonta. And yet sometimes we struggle to find the words to invite others to join. So I'm just going to have an introduction on a way in which you can be more comfortable when speaking to others about Zonta and inviting them to join Zonta.
Can you tell us what you say when you're talking to people about Zonta?
Oh, yes. What I say is I always, and this is my approach that I have always taken, I always start with an I. I talk to Zonta, to my friends like this. I will say, if somebody says to me, what's Zonta? I say, I joined Zonta because I believe in the mission of Zonta. Or other times I might say, I love Zonta because of the connections that I have made with my friends. So really it is about using an I statement that I have found that shows your passion about Zonta, that I have always found very helpful in getting a conversation about Zonta. Teresa?
That's good. Maybe we could ask people to write down what is their I statement. If you'd be thinking about, I gave you a hint in the beginning that we'd be asking you if you want to put into the chat just one sentence on maybe why you joined or what you love about Zonta. And we're going to compile them afterwards and insert them as a slide in the finished Zoom.
Yep.
We'll give you about 30 seconds. I don't dare touch this anymore, so I can't see the chat. Do we have, we getting some people in the chat? Good.
Yes. Yep.
I think I plugged my computer in. I think an update started right in the middle of our Zoom.
Well, if you want me to share the slides, you let me know, and I'll happily do that, okay?
They're showing now. So if you
Okay.
go, there's a new version of Zoom, and if you go in the upper left where it says meeting and you down arrow, click on Mariah's name and you'll see them.
Okay.
Okay, well, we're going to leave that there and we're going to move right on to the next slide if we can, Mariah. I love the I statement idea, and I'd like to now talk about meetings. Good meetings keep members coming back and even bringing guests. There are a lot of gold nuggets that can come from your monthly meeting. In the next slide, I'd like you to take a look at a meeting gone wrong and see what you noticed.
Is this a Zonta meeting? Where is everybody? Well, President Paula isn't here, so we can't start.
Okay, but you're the vice president. We should have started 5 minutes ago.
See if I ever try to step up again.
Sorry, my guys. Welcome to the Zonta meeting. Let's get this party started. Oh, I forgot my computer. I've got the plan. It's in here somewhere.
President Paula, I brought a guest with me.
Guest night is next month. Let's have some snacks.
How about we organize your papers a little bit first?
We could do that. Oh, my agenda. Thank you. I found it. Well, who remembers why we're here today?
We're here to save the planet, end inequality, and clean up after last week's big sale.
Big sale was last month, Gail. Okay. President Paul wants to talk about today's meeting.
We're supposed to have an icebreaker, so why don't we go around and talk about our favorite color?
Favorite color, it's time for snacks.
There's no time for snacks.
The agenda clearly says snacks. President Paul wants to discuss our next project.
Oh, our next project. How about we save the whales?
Saving the whales? I thought we were building a better world for women and girls.
But there are female whales.
Is this how this was supposed to go?
This is hopeless.
Ridiculous. I'm not coming back.
Me either.
I move to postpone the meeting. I second.
The road to leadership is such a lonely journey.
And here are some of your answers. Great observations. If you take a look at this chart, it's a year at a glance. When members are confused or they don't feel like they're part of the plan, they leave. So how would members of a football team do without a playbook, or orchestra musicians without a musical score? Using a year-at-a-glance calendar increases member engagement. Here you can list the meeting dates, speaker topics, members' birthdays, district events, and it helps them when they go to speak to Zonta, speak about Zonta to a friend. They can say, why don't you come next week? We're going to have a heart health presentation. So it keeps them involved. You know, if you ask any long-term Zonta member about their best Zonta memories, they often talk about relationships, and relationships come from shared experiences. Committees don't just divide the club workload. Committees also provide the perfect opportunity for shared experiences. When it's done right, committee work is fun and fulfilling. Yet some presidents tell us that they have trouble setting committees up. The most common excuse that is heard is, I just don't know enough to lead a committee. And if we shift our thinking just a little bit and we present it this way, if we say, what topic would you like to learn more about this year? People readily sign up. So on that particular chart that you see are some sample Zonta topics. So Zonta isn't an organization that just happens to have committees. It's an organization that's comprised of committees. And when the committees are aligned properly, the participant is automatically on the natural growth path of leadership. So let's use the membership committee as an example. Zonta International has a committee. That committee, the membership committee, it talks to the 32 district membership committee chairs. That's often the lieutenant governors. And they, in turn, speak to the club membership committee chairs. The communication goes down and it also goes up. The connection is clear. Now we'll talk about recognition. You cannot do it too much. You cannot have too much recognition in your meetings. Here's some things that you can recognize that everybody can be in the spotlight for a little bit, whether it be birthdays, Zontiversaries. You know, you get the join date for your club, and that is the anniversary, and you can recognize the month and the years. How about bringing a guest? Do the committee chairs get brought up to the front of the room? Do they get a pat on the back? How about people who participated in a program? Bring them up, applaud them. You know, you want a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of appreciation, and definitely when they sponsor a new member. Everybody knows praise publicly and specifically and criticize privately. But did you know that recognition inspires and motivates? It encourages repeated performance. So your club wants to recognize everything that you want repeated. So I'm wondering, what does your club do to acknowledge and praise people who bring prospective members to your meetings? I know I've been in a lot of meetings where they have done nothing. Okay, consider this. Your meeting date is already in your calendar. You have space rented. You're putting on some nice clothes, makeup, your name tag. Why not invite guests to come 30 minutes before the meeting starts? You want to work that gold mine, and I'm going to tell you how. If there's 1 or 2 guests that night, then do the presentation right in the meeting room. You know, a short and sweet one. It's good practice for members to hear. If there are 3 or more guests, then take them to a different room in case your time runs over. The meeting can be fertile recruiting ground, full of gold, when every meeting is guest night with a membership presentation every month given by your best presenter. Do you see on the slide it says, don't be boring? So not sure of what to say? We actually have a What is Zonta PowerPoint all ready to go. And right now it's in Spanish and English. And I'll give you the address to it online in just a minute. You know, testimony helps too. Bring up a few passionate members who can give their I statement, like what An spoke about. So some things for the presenter to do or to say. And remember, we're trying not to be boring. So here's a couple of things that you might say to your group. I bet you are here because you care about women's issues. No one's going to say, no, I don't. Or maybe you're here to support your friend. Those are both noble causes. How many people here have ever dreamed of seeing the world, or of changing the world, or of helping women here and abroad to have a better life? How about being able to give millions of dollars to help achieve gender equality? Ever wish you had fun things to do with good people? How about activities that are a good use of your free time? Ever wish you could have something that would improve your mental health and acuity? Volunteerism does that. And that's why Zonta is such a good organization to select. It's nice to be part of a large organization. We all have these dreams, but we can't do it alone. Belong to a focused group that's easy to join. And my Zonta friends, at that point, you pass out an index card and you collect their name, email, and phone number. I've been guilty of it myself, presenting to wonderful guests, and I have nothing to follow up because I forgot to ask for their contact information. And then I'm going to give you 3 letters that are the key to success. They are on the screen, YNM. The number one reason why people don't join Zonta is that no one asks them. So now, as a presenter, you've got to summon up your courage and ask them. So this is how you do that. You just say, so here's what happens next. I've told you about Zonta. I've answered your questions. We are inviting you to join us. Try Zonta membership for a season. Help build a better world for women and girls and have some fun in the process. We think you'll really like it, as we do. But if we're wrong, just don't renew your membership the following year and we'll still be friends. By now, you know if you don't want to join, if you do want to join, or maybe you just need a little more time and information to think about it. Please circle Y for yes, N for no, M for maybe. And if you happen to be an e-club, they can private message you the same information. I see your comments, Diane. For those of you who say no, I hope that you have learned something more about Zonta and that you will tell others. And I hope that you will support this club's events. For our yeses and maybes, take home a prospective membership questionnaire, or if the club has a membership packet, this is a great time to hand that out. And then here's the key, invite everyone to stay for the meeting. And during the beginning of the meeting, congratulate the newest candidate for Zonta membership. That's those people who said yes. And do it in front of everybody. Bring them right up front and make a big deal and lead the applause. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our next Zonta candidates. It is a big deal. So we're going to go to the next slide and you'll have an opportunity to take a picture of where this resource is. And as Ansemarie mentioned it before, it's stuff that we developed to help make new clubs, but the same information sustains clubs as well. So now that we have a great club, how about getting more media coverage? And I really hope that we can share this with sound because Julianne Morceau from France has given us, well, I'll just tell you, she has gotten some amazing press, printed material, television coverage, podcasts. She has been right out there at the forefront for Zonta and done a great job. And she's here today by video to tell you how she does it.
Increasing the presence of Zonta in the media. How to increase the presence of Zonta in the media? It is true that the more Zonta is visible, the more quickly we have requests for new membership, the more we will have requests for new club creations, the more we will have applications for scholarships, the more we have a proposal for volunteers, the more we will have managers and more we'll have the request to bring our expertise towards summits and forums of influence on a global scale. But immediately, the question that comes to mind, how we can promote Zonta in the media at the local level, at the club level, without having a dedicated communication budget, without spending $0. I'm going to give you some keys to communication strategy that are already implemented and which work. It's quite simple, but time consuming. I'm going to share some keys with you to having experiencing it over the past 7 years. Before occupying the position of regional representative of membership committee for Europe and Africa, I was president of Zonta Club, Paris Powers Concours in France, in Paris. When I took over the club as president, it was almost closed. There were only 3 members left and above, or we had a significant debt from the previous financial year to pay. The founding president, Janine Jain, who represents Zonta International for many years at UNESCO, was very ill, sick, and I have to take over the club. To this, I restructured the club, I integrated new members, contacted the press to publish about Zonta and our memorable history. I organized major events at the Senate, the French Parliament, advancing former Zonta scholarship orders as beginnings to this event. I initiated a few partnerships with famous brands, which gave us credibility with the press. In the concrete terms, it is what you need to do. You need to work on 2 fronts, 2 important fronts to attract the press. First front, communication on your social actions, activities linked to the service program of Zonta and events to attract the press. Second point, communication on club-specific events and club and partner events. Create accounts for your club on social media network and be consistent. Create relevant content for your followers, your angels. Use experience and goodwill of young members, young volunteers who can become your community manager on the channels. Share Zonta International publication at least once a weekend, or that's once a week on club actions, activities on the club account. Creation of quality content for integration on YouTube platforms, of local club website, social media network. Document the event of video recordings, film and all action and activities carried out or by the club. Use local media. Start contacting local media to talk about your actions. Invite them so you can have articles in the papier press and video reports in the evening newspaper news on TV and newspaper. Journalists will systematically go to the social networks of the local club. For each article in paper versions that you have about your club, scan it, put it in digital format. Publish it on the article on the club social network, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. So it can be shared by the community. In case it goes viral, do the same for video reports of your events. With just one article, you can then design a club press kit with this article on your club and incorporated the elements of Zonta International Press Kit to set the general framework, the international context, in order to remind you that you belong to a worldwide organization. A simple and effective way to gain visibility is to rely on visibility of another complementary organization. Get closer to associations that have complementary expertise to Zonta and organize a live webinar, for example, with the objectives of Zonta International to highlight the service programs. Participate in local forums and events. Events are a great communication channel, organized by your Zonta club or another participating in will be an opportunity to talk to the people who want to reach. Look at Facebook events or those organized in your area, target specialized events. You will at last be guaranteed to reach already sensitive target. Position ourselves to be a partner of large-scale organizational events that respect the objective and philosophy of Zonta. This allows you to gain visibility on network and for your future partners. As to speak on subjects relating to women in press, subject the press to cover topics like the Orange Day, woman leadership, thanks to Zonta scholarships, and the concrete success story of former stock market. Invite former scholarship users to your major events and mention them on the poster, the flyer, the invitation email with the current professions and the most important profession of their career. This will make people who don't know Zonta want to come out and of curiosity and above all give Zonta credibility with the press. It is important to constantly remind in each presentation of Zonta to others, particularly to potential members and the press, that Zonta is not a recent and ephemeral organization. We must specify loud and clear that we are century-old organization that has experienced different wars, but we is still standing to allow the rise of women empowerment to lead them towards excellence and to defend their rights, because people who don't know us always tend to compare us to other feminist organizations that are short-lived or have only recently existed. Our age, our seniority is a guarantee of quality, is a strength. When you send an invitation email to a journalist, wait just 48 hours and call them to find out if they received the email and how you can count on them to carry the voice of women, the voice of Zonta. Contact them every 3 days until the person say yes. Because given the magnitude to seriousness of the cause that we support, they must carry this subject of human rights in the media, because women rights are an integral part of human rights. I hope these tips will be useful to you. Today, I'm proud to carry the torch of Zonta International, loudly of your daily fight. Early May, I was invited to the Europe-Africa World Forum with several heads of state, minister, famous businesswomen to present Zonta. The forum was organized by the largest French economic newspaper, La Tribune. From this forum and my intervention comes the concrete desire needs of one country, Gabon, African country, to create a Zonta club in this country without a Club Zonta at your disposal to help you, if necessary, as far as possible, to open the doors of the media for you, because we work together for a common cause in this beautiful Zonta family. Thank you.
Well, you can certainly see her passion for Zonta. And how about that? She follows up to her messages to the press in 48 hours, but then she said, and every 3 days, to see how they will carry the message of Zonta. Wow, that's an intensity that we could have. And I love that as finishing a biennium where we started the new club creation focus. Here she said she gave a talk to government people and got interest in opening a new Zonta club, a country. That's amazing. And we need to do more of it. Now I'd like to show you a tool that's available to you and has been for 7 months, and maybe you don't know about it. There it is. Short and sweet. You see diversity, you see youth, you see projects, and it's less than a minute. It's on the ZI website. If you're not harvesting from ZI YouTube channel, you're missing the boat. So that is my next tip. And now we come to the close. What are your takeaways? What are some of the things that you said, aha, I never thought of that. What will you start? What will you stop? What will you continue? Whenever you see a presentation, always ask yourself those 3 questions. What will I start? What will I stop? And what will I continue? Anybody want to unmute themselves? If you're shy, you could put it in the chat. I don't see a lot of. It's been informative. Thanks for sharing. So one idea that you saw, and maybe Mariah, if you're monitoring chat.
I can see Bonnie has her hand up.
Great.
I have tried to correct this, but I still have a little bit of problem with it. I tend to kind of make up my mind that somebody is maybe too busy to join Zonta.
You are so honest, Bonnie.
Yeah.
We decide for them.
I did it a long time ago, and I really corrected it, I think, for the most part. But I had a friend in the neighborhood, and once she said, "Oh, I have to leave. I have to go to my blah 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 meeting," and I said, "Oh gosh, I didn't think you volunteered in the community, or I would have asked you to join Zonta." She's looked at me and she goes, "Yeah, but you didn't." And I
Ooh,
thought,
ouch.
"Ooh, that hurt."
You went to the school of experience.
I certainly did.
Well, I'm very aware of this membership building thing, and I have sponsored a lot of people into Zonta. But the last one I did, she said to me, "I have been waiting for you for 10 years to invite me."
Oh,
They think that you have to be invited. So somebody once told me this, and I'll share with you. Until they tell you to stop asking them, continue to ask. And you're not really asking, you're inviting them to find more information. Winnie and Ans know that I use the expression VIP, and Mariah, I know you've heard it. We call a VIP a vaguely interested person. And that's, you want to cultivate the interest. You want them to say, "Tell me more about this. What is that thing that you belong to, Suella? Where do you go on Wednesdays, the 3rd Wednesdays? And how did you get involved with that project?" You know, we have programs on the ZI website that you could share with people. You could make an event around remarkable women, for example. Invite people in to see that. You could make some popcorn even. It can be fun and lighthearted, but we need to put the passion back into our inviting, and we need to thank everybody who does anything good for our Zonta group. Any more comments? I think I saw Cecil with a hand up. Cecile, did you have your hand up? You're on mute. You're still on mute. I'm sorry. Can you unmute yourself? Thank you. Go
Right,
ahead.
so I'm from the Zonta Club of Caboolture in Queensland, Australia. Here in our club too, we can join expos, and some of these are been put on by our federal representative in the Australian Parliament. And at these expos, there are other like-minded groups in various forms in the community, and we can spread the word there. And also the politicians, and at different levels, at the federal, at the state level, and at the council level, often have their own newsletters, and we can have articles put in those newsletters, and it spreads, because some of these newsletters go to every household in the area.
Wow.
So it's a way of extending knowledge about Zonta.
That's fabulous. That's
That is.
fabulous.
And it reminds me, Teresa, in the membership YouTube channel, we also have a little video clip about how we can raise the visibility of Zonta when we have these expos that, for example, Cecil referred to.
I'm so glad you said that, Ansprite, because when we showed the slide of how to get to the YouTube, I was having difficulty, but I wanted to tell you that there's a great short video in there about events. So you have to see my face during it, but it's got some material. So on that YouTube channel, go check that out about events and what we wish to accomplish at an event. I once went to an event. I was new in my club, and my club felt like it had enough members. And sometimes you do feel like your club has enough members. So you start another club. That's okay. You're allowed to do that. So she said to me, I said, well, are we going to have a Zonta commercial? You know, we've got all these people here for the event. Should we have a Zonta commercial? Oh, no. You know, and the mistake is not letting our light show. Do not hide your Zonta light under a barrel. Let it be out there. Now, I'm not saying belabor the point. Don't give them 2 hours worth of chapter and verse. Just enough, a little tease to invite them to find more information. I see Dr. Sabine has her hand up.
Yeah, Sabine?
Yeah.
Sabine, I said it wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. When I started as an area director in my area, I introduced a workshop that the presidents are the ambassadors for Zonta, and I did it on the international level last year at the convention too, because I think it's so important that our club presidents know what to talk about Zonta. And I'm still missing this, because sometimes when I hear our young presidents talking about Zonta, I really get, this is like, we are a service organization and whatever. So I think it's very important to, I still don't know. The workshop was fine because there were groups together. They didn't know each other. They were taken by a draw. And so they had some questions every president of a club will enjoy during their presidency. And they had a little work group, and then they presented a role play. And I think it's very important to give them some information. I made a piece of paper, Zonta for your handbag, to have all the information on Zonta on one page, and you put it in your handbag. And I always say, the clubs, this is your vocabulary. You know, to have the Zonta vocabulary. Otherwise, we don't, if they stumble in front of the major, if they're talking about Zonta, they are not our ambassadors. Therefore, I think it's always, well, our presidents are changing every 2 years, so it's an ongoing effort to make them able to speak about Zonta. I'm still not sure how to achieve this goal, but I'm working on it constantly. And
You're
therefore, I think it's very important.
You're making progress, and that's good. You know, some of us don't carry pocketbooks anymore, but I'll bet you everybody has a cell phone. So you can actually do a QR code to your piece of literature. You don't kill a tree because you don't print it. But then when you meet somebody, if it's an iPhone, you can even just put it close by and that can be shared, or they could just take a picture from your phone. So that's a way to have it always be with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it
Can
in
I
your,
just-
in your pocket. Go ahead, Winnie.
Can I just add a comment? Dr. Sabine, I love your idea of having a summary, the highlight of Zonta in your handbag. That would be very effective and allows you to promote Zonta 24 hours or when you meet, you know, what you think is a perspective. So thank you for your idea.
Yeah, it's like the elevator pitch. When I'm sitting on the train or I'm sitting on the bus, all my people around me know about Zonta because I'm constantly talking about Zonta. And my clients, I'm a lawyer, they have all the Matildas and whatever in my law firm. And so I think it's so important that we always talk about Zonta. And I still have the impression that lots of our members do not dare to talk about Zonta.
Right. It, you know, my husband is not a Zonta member yet, but he has heard me so many times that I'm around him and his friends and I hear him giving the talk. It comes out of his mouth too. So the more that people hear you say it, you know, if they don't have it in them, they can just copy somebody and that will work.
Yeah, because I'm always working for the Zonta Says No campaign. I always walking around in Baden-Baden with my dog and I just get into the shops and whatever. And nowadays they always say, okay, she's again. Well, on the 25th of November, they all start to say, okay, what's happening again? But that's what it's all about, that you talk about Zonta, talk to your neighbors and include them into the actions. Especially with Zonta Says No, we have a good campaign to do that.
Yes, and sell the try idea. Try it. Now, ladies, we could talk here all night, couldn't we, or all day? But I do want to say we got a little bit of a late start, and that's on my electronics. I was plugged in so I wouldn't run out of battery, and apparently an update started right in the middle. So we will stop now. But for those of you who will be at the convention, let's talk again. I hope to see you at the workshop. We do have some fun things planned for you. You'll see a little bit of the same, but expanded and a few other things besides, because you know what? It's great to be together all around the world like this, but it's even better when we're physically together. That energy really transpires. So at this point, I would like to thank my amazing Zonta membership committee, Ans Marie Van Erb and Winnie Teo. And when she's watching the recording, our regional rep, Julianne Morisseau. And mostly we all thank you for caring enough to be here today and to hang with us when we had a little bit of a rocky technical start. I also want to thank our headquarters staff who rescued us today. Go forth and multiply.